But this is so dainty and cute. Unboxing this giant box of vintage and antique items that belonged to my grandmother. So grab some tea or another beverage of choice and hang out with me while we look through these old treasures. I am gonna categorize them by clothing, housewares, and linens, and I will have timestamps in the description, so if there's one category that you're really excited to see, you can go ahead and just jump straight to that. For just a little bit of backstory about these items, they belong to my grandmother, who was named Loretta. She passed away in 2011. She lived through the Great Depression. A lot of folks who lived during the Great Depression era tended to hold on to everything, even things like buttons and threads. Collected quite a few beautiful things during her beautiful life here on Earth. In fact, I think some of this stuff is from great aunts or great grandparents as well that was passed down to her, and a few things that were my grandfather's. This is not the first box of treasures that I've been blessed with that had belonged to her, but there is a very good chance that this will be the last one, considering her estate has been completely cleaned up and sold. But I'm somebody who is a lover of vintage and antique things regardless. Having ones that were my grandmother's is just an extra layer of excitement to it all, and I hope that you enjoy going through this box as much as I do. It's like, where do I begin? Ooh. Oh my gosh. This is so sweet. Look at these precious details on this slip skirt. I'll have to make sure I get a really good video of this, but it literally has these little embroidered heart pockets and layers of lace. Personally, I like these worn as skirts for a more modern styling of them, but of course they were originally meant to be worn as undergarments. The detail is just so good. You can feel the thickness and the quality. I'm going to show you all the tag because as somebody who loves vintage, I always love seeing what the vintage tags look like. So there might be somebody else who appreciates that as well. I'm just floored because I regularly thrift little slip skirts like this. I've never found one with such beautiful details in the wild. This, I believe, is kind of like a dickie, if you know what that is. Will it fit over my head? Oh cool, it will. Something that you would wear underneath your jacket or your blazer, I guess even a cardigan or shirt, but it actually ties on the sides. I'm not sure if it's too small for me. I don't really know. Wow, wow, wow. The lace is stunning. When I tell you, vintage lace is so different than modern lace, and it's so beautiful. I wish you could feel it. And then the linen in the back is just this beautiful linen. I love old linen. Oh, old textiles. Scratches some sort of an itch for me. Oh my gosh. This jacket is so darling. I'm gonna try her on here in a second. But again, I want you to see that tag. It is a vintage Pendleton. It has this other little tag too, which I believe is from the boutique that sold it. If somebody is an expert, feel free to correct me, but I believe like the 60s and prior to that is when boutiques would sew their own little tag above the brand tag. It does have a couple of moth holes, but nothing major. I could either mend that or just wear this as is. Wow. And it's Pendleton. It is a little bit itchy because it's wool, but wearing a long sleeve underneath would negate that. You know that it's going to keep me warm, and this really just speaks to the quality of Pendleton. Wow, this is so cute. This little velour jumper, it's all velvet and it looks as though my grandma handmade this one. I love the idea of like a long sleeve layered underneath it and some cute little loafers. If this one fits me. Speaking of dresses, here is another one. How cute and precious is this? Here's a peek at the vintage tag, and it does have that Unions Workers label. Oh my gosh, pleated red dress. I love the pleating. We're gonna go ahead and do a glance at this tag. I actually let my friend wear this when she was up here visiting, so I will probably end up gifting this to her because it looked amazing on her, and like I've known her since I was 15. We're locked in for life, baby. Oh my gosh. This is soft. This feels good. I don't think this one is as old as some of the items, but it still is definitely vintage. Ooh, it's lamb's wool, Angora rabbit hair, and nylon. A nice little blend. The Angora makes sense of why it is so soft, but it would also stay warm. It does have shoulder pads. Oh, I love it. They're Velcroed in, which means that I will be getting rid of these. I'm not the biggest fan of shoulder pads, just as somebody that already has kind of broad shoulders. Oh my gosh, you guys. It's another slip skirt. Look at the details. Look at the hem. That is so pretty. Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. People who collect vintage know. So Pennies was actually JC Penney's. I don't remember exactly when that is dated to. That is something that I will have to look up because I want to give you all accurate facts. This is like a very special piece to find. Oh my god, this is so cute. Look at this sweater. The label is Northwest Mills, Seattle. I actually live very close to Seattle, so I'm curious to look this place up and see if it is still in existence at all, but I'm pretty sure this is a sweater for skiing. Does it have a fabric tag anywhere? I don't see one. It's also interesting though, because even though I live near Seattle, that's not where my grandparents live. My grandpa spent one summer in Seattle and thought that he would move here because it was a rare year where it was beautiful. He's no longer here to tell the story, but once he figured out how rainy it was all the time, he moved on out. But then ironically, two of his sons ended up back in the Seattle area. But I'd really like to get more information on Northwest Mills, whatever that is. There is a second sweater. Oh my gosh, these are so cute. Has the same Northwest Mills tag. I'm wondering if this is like a his and hers type deal. My grandparents both love to ski, so I'm wondering if maybe this one was my grandmother's because it's a little smaller and this one was my grandfather's. There's no way to know for sure unless maybe one of my uncles remembers them wearing these. This one does have some staining on the front. I'm not sure if it's really showing up on the camera. If anybody has tips on how to remove stains from very, very vintage clothing, let me know. I would love to get the stain out of here so that way I can wear it. I'll probably wear it regardless, but I would feel better wearing it if it wasn't stained. This one is unreal. This is so cute. You know, I don't remember my grandma wearing any of these. Like, I think these were all things that she had from her past, but look how cute. And they have little cherries on the back too, and it's about to be cherry blossom season, which I know is not quite cherry season, but I kind of want to wear this to go see the cherry blossoms. This one doesn't have any tags or labels. My grandma could sew. I never heard about her knitting or crocheting anything, so perhaps somebody made this for her. Perhaps the tag was simply cut off at some point. I have no idea what era the sweater is from. I really, really wish that I did. This is so cute. It might be my favorite find in this box so far. It's hard to say, but I really like that one. Here's a nightgown. I do think that this little embroidered detail is cute. The tag is pretty simple. I did note that the back has the material, but no care instructions. Generally, this means that the garment was made before 1972, I believe. But I believe that it was 1972 that it became law to include care materials on garments. So if you find garments that have a professional tag but no care details, you can bet pretty confidently that it's from very early 70s or prior. It could be really cute worn as a dress. I'll have to try it on and see how it fits, but it does remind me of Sabrina Carpenter. If it doesn't work as a dress, fine, I'll just wear it to bed. Oh my gosh. Little details. And here's the tag. Y'all, I just know that this is old. It's 100% virgin wool. I wish I was better at dating older vintage on site. I'm pretty good with like 90s and stuff. Usually I have to do some computer research to figure out when stuff is from. If you know when some of the stuff is from, let me know in the comments. I love sharing and gaining knowledge, especially within the vintage community. I feel like there's just tons of knowledge to be shared, and I love it when people are experts. Oh, you know I love lace. I can already tell that this is going to be good. Oh my gosh, look how thick the lace is at the bottom of this slip. And it has a little slit. I'm not sure if this is the back or the side. Let's see if this has a tag. No tags have been located, but this is so stunning. We're gonna segue into the accessories now. Here are a couple of clutches. Take a look. I'm honestly not the biggest fan of clutches just because they're not practical for me to use in my everyday life. Maybe if I was going to fancy events. I'm really not, but we can definitely admire these. Here is the other one. Feels almost like a satin, but not quite. And this one does have a little chain. It does remind me of a old movie star on the red carpet, something that they might carry. It's interesting to me that my grandmother has this because she never seemed like the type to go to parties or to care about that, but I think maybe in her earlier years she was doing a little bit more of that, you know? Well, this purse feels very special because I actually do remember my grandmother using this and carrying this. It's like a big old tote bag. It has this really cute shape and it's kind of mesh, and this is one that she would just carry around with her. It's interesting because it's loud. The interior fabric is kind of similar to like a rain jacket fabric, but I guess that would keep the inside of your bag clean. Just remember her carrying and using this bag. Also, like low-key, Mary-Kate and Ashley during the 2010s, I feel like they would have worn something like this. Or Solange. Right now, Solange is kind of a style it girl, and I could see her with a bag like this. Look at these little collars. There's two of them. I guess we would call this the label. Cute. Oh my gosh. Ah. Oh, this one snaps, so it's gonna be way easier to put on. I'm not entirely sure how these would have been styled or worn. Were they originally for women? Not that it matters because I'm gonna wear it regardless, but I kind of like it as just like a necklace. Is that how it goes? Oh, and then you can tighten it. Is that right? Is that correct? I really don't know. This is so cute. It's a little collar, like a little lacy collar. I'm not sure which part would have been in front, but I would wear it this way. How cute would this be layered over a little long sleeve or a little sweater? And look at the lace. That is so pretty and so gorgeous. It feels like a linen or cotton. Again, really nice materials. If you have any idea what era something like this might be from, I would love to hear from you. Here's kind of a view of the back. But this is so dainty and cute. I love it here. Who needs jewelry when you have collars? I have quite a little collection of scarves. I'm gonna speed around through these all because I don't want to bore you. Long and skinny, silk, 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 long and skinny, silk. Really beautiful. Feels like polyester, silk. Oh my gosh. This is like, my mom told me these are the ones that you wear like this. You know, in the old movies? Maybe I'm not doing it right. I think your hair is all supposed to be inside, but to keep your hair from getting ruined by the wind or the elements. Gosh, am I wearing that right? There's one more scarf and it's inside of this wrapping. How freaking cute is this wrapping paper? A little touristy scarf from Munich, Germany. I'm pretty sure my dad grabbed this for my grandma when he went to Munich and Germany in the 1970s. I also have this brooch My uncle got this for my grandma at some point when he ended up in Moscow, Russia. I was told that it is supposed to ward off bad energy and be sort of a symbol for protection. That being said, nobody in my family is Russian or has Russian lineage, so feel free to correct me in the comments. This is simply what I was told, but it could be incorrect information. Now we shall segue into housewares. In the same bag with the little emblem are some arrowheads. There was some arrowheads that my grandfather made and then other arrowheads that he found like walking around outside. It is unknown to me which are which. I'm thinking these were made by him because this one looks like it's made out of glass, and I know that glass was one of his mediums that he would make arrowheads out of. This one could be stone, but it literally looks like a bone to me, which makes me wonder if it was found. This one is obsidian. I believe this is a form of obsidian as well, not 100% sure. This could be obsidian or something else completely. This little pottery jar, this was made by my great-grandma, so my grandma's mother. I never met her. I think she might have passed on before I was born. It's still just a cool little family heirloom to have. This bowl, I liked it. I don't think I would eat with it. I might use it to store something. This, there was actually, I can't remember if it was 8 or 12 of these because they're meant to be like dinner or maybe dessert plates. I only wanted one. Nobody wanted them, so the rest of them went to the Goodwill. So if you like these, check your Goodwill. But I'm actually gonna use it as a corner tray in my bathroom and slide it right into the corner of the counter to put little like skincare and makeup on. I believe this is just fabric. Oh yeah, it's fabric. I have 2 squares of it. This looks really familiar to me. Like my grandmother may have made either a tablecloth or curtains out of it that was up at her house. Or I could simply be imagining that. Maybe it was something similar. Forgot to segue into textiles because I thought these were maybe curtains. So yeah, we're in textiles now. This is another category where I have a lot. Some of them I might show as groups. I'm just gonna hold up the ones that are really cool because again, I don't want you all to get bored. This is really, really pretty. Also, I might mention, I literally collect like doilies and lace, table runners, curtains, etc. So this stuff is very, very interesting to me, but I totally understand if it's not your cup of tea. But I do like, look how that's like 3D. A lot of these were made by hand, which is really cool. Another one. Here's some more pink. It is cool that I have colors because most of my collection is whites and creams. Some fun little additions. I want to say this is called tatting or something similar. Again, I don't want to bore you all too much, but I do really love the pattern on this one. This one is really pretty. It has some staining. So do I try to soak it in OxyClean and hope for the best, or do I just dye it another color? Again, trying not to bore you too much because I know this is a pretty niche interest that I have, but look at the details. How beautiful is that? Some more really pretty lace. This one has another little stain. That's not too uncommon though, even if you're looking for this stuff at antique shops. A lot of it does tend to have stains. You could dye it or repurpose it. I've seen really cute clothes that people make out of stuff like this. And this is so sweet. Okay, this is really cool. It's meant to go on the armrest of a chair. How freaking cool is that? I don't have a chair for this to go on, but it could even be, it's a little wide, but maybe it would work for a bookmark or something else. Another one of these things with tatting. Still has its little Irish linen sticker on it, so I don't know that this was ever used. This is a hanky, but it has really, really sweet embroidery. Some more really sweet embroidery. Not entirely sure what this would have been for, but I have 2 of them. Oh, and they also have these, so maybe they were chair covers. Guys, I have this. There's 2 of them. This one's been cut. Look how sweet the cross stitching is on this. I believe that these were pillowcases. The other one hasn't been cut like this, but this, oh, I guess maybe it has. Not as deeply. The linen feels really good though. They do not make linen this soft anymore. This is what I mean when I say my Depression era grandmother kept everything. My guess is she figured that this could be reused. And I mean, it could. How cute would this look as the hem of a little crop top or a skirt? Sometimes when we talk about throwing everything away, I do think I'm torn because I understand the idea behind minimalism, but all of this stuff truly brings me joy, and I love the idea that someday my descendants will also be brought joy by the things I've hung on to. I have a lot of collections of old things. Oh, look at this embroidery on this hanky. Here are just several more hankies with cute little embroidered details. Again, I'm really worried about making you all bored. I have yet to meet somebody in the flesh who's as excited as me. The details of this lace is something that makes me feel really excited. Ooh, one last thing to show you. This hanky with the letter L embroidered. Really cool. Obviously it was my grandmother's. Her name was Loretta. My name, Elizabeth Joy, but I often go by Liz. So this feels like it was meant to be. I had so much fun looking through all of those old things with you. I really hope that you enjoyed your time here as well. I have a box of glassware that came from my grandma. I have other housewares just around my house that I've decorated with, actually from both of my grandmothers. And I have more clothes as well that belong to both my grandmother and grandpa. So if you'd be interested in seeing a part 2 of some of these old vintage things that I have from them, let me know down below. I'd be happy to make that for you. If you got this far, go ahead and thumbs up the video if you haven't already, and subscribe. Thanks again for being here. Ciao.